this working? Ah, this is working. Hey there, Maplers, what's going on? It's Bumber TYR here. No, it's really cool. Maplestory 2 got announced. How's that even look? It's gonna be blocked. Oh well. Well, again, as we all know, Maplestory 2 has been announced, which is pretty sick. Maplestory 2 is a lot of fun. It's really cool. I'm super excited because I love Maplestory 2. I've been playing KMS2 for a pretty decent period of time, and I'm just super excited that it's finally coming to the West. And, of course, with Maplestory 2 being announced, a bunch of old players are coming back, checking out Maplestory, catching up on what they've missed, which is great. We're getting a lot of the old community back. The old community. It's just awesome. Well, with the old community comes a lot of nostalgia-based topics. One that's been reoccurring a lot lately has been a classic server. So people are like, we want a classic server. It would be so much fun, you know, to experience the glory days. I forgot to accept the item. Which, yeah, it would. It'd be really cool to play old Maple again. But one thing that I noticed that people don't specify is what they mean by old Maple.
You must be my boss.
Because the thing is, if you're asking for classic Maple, pre-Big Bang Maplestory, you're asking for everything that came out before Big Bang. Which, there was quite a bit of content that came out before Big Bang. So, I mean, even potential and enhancements were in the game before Big Bang. You know, there's a lot of content. Personally, I would say if there was to be a classic server, I think the best place for it to start would be sometime after 4th Job, and then sometime before Masteria's release. The reason being, after 4th Job specifically, I know that a lot of people consider 4th Job to be power creep, that it broke the game, which it's not completely wrong. 4th Job did cause a little bit of imbalance of power, and I will admit I wasn't too fond of 4th Job when it first came out. But it's still a fond memory for some people, so I would say that 4th Job would need to stay in just because so many people liked it compared to those who didn't. The reason I'm saying before Masteria is because if anyone is familiar with Masteria, you know Masteria brought in a lot of pay-to-win content. The Maplestory trading card game had some stuff released with it, specifically codes that gave you special in-game items. So people bought up a ton of codes, like a ton of codes. And redeemed them in-game and made really overpowered items like Stormcaster gloves, Sturge Man gear. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Ah, shit! Well. Oh well. Doesn't really matter too much to me, it's for a mule anyways. But anyways, yeah, it brought a bunch of overpowered items to the game, basically, and it's better off without it, basically. Don't get me wrong, I love Masteria, I love Crimsonwood Keep, but it's just not healthy for the game. Let me see, what else? I didn't even hammer this shit, crap. So the best place to start again would probably be around version 39. Next question is, would it be okay if it got patched? I don't think it'd be good if the game stayed static forever. I really do think that it needs to change, get patches, etc. It needs to improve. Because, yeah, I want to experience old Maple, but I don't want everything to stay the same forever. I don't know about you. They could add in all the content that's been previously released in regular Maplestory. It would just need to be balanced to the old style of Maple. So, as long as the content was balanced to old Maple, I don't see a problem with it being added into the game. As long as balancing was done correctly, pay to win never showed up, you know, all that. So, alright, a little recap. Version 39, or somewhere around there, So just sometime after 4th job before Masteria, yeah, the server can update. Monetization for it, I don't think it would be that hard. Monetization could easily be just all cosmetic. I mean, there's a lot of really good cosmetics that's been added into normal Maplestory, and I see a bunch of different ways that a classic server could monetize multiple kinds of customization. Like, I think, like, we've seen some skill customization for Kaiser. If you change his main color, the main armor color for your Kaiser character, the color of your skills actually change with it. So there is some kind of pseudo skill alterations that you can do in this game, which would be pretty cool to pull off over in a classic server. They could add in a form of surprise style boxes to monetize, just not permanent equipment. Just make it so the items still expire after 90 days, but work kind of like pets, where you use like a sewing kit to kind of, you know, fix up the items, make them last another 90 days. So I don't think monetization would be that hard to pull off. At least I don't think it would be. Again, emphasis on this is my thoughts and opinions of how this would work. But I could see monetization working purely off cosmetics. I think that could be something that could be done. Of course, it also does come down to resources, because we need to take into account that this would be an entirely different game. This wouldn't even be, like, Maplestory. It'd be Maplestory Classic. So that'd need an entirely different dev team. That would need an entirely different QA team. It'd be a lot more resources. So it is kind of a risk to just make a classic server and just put it out there. Another thing that people actually were kind of concerned about was a classic server would cannibalize the current Maple, which I don't really consider that a valid concern, only because people who play the current Maplestory don't want to play classic, and the people who, well, I mean, that's not completely true. Most people who play current Maplestory wouldn't want to play classic. They're vocal about it. Most people who want to play classic Maplestory don't play current Maplestory. So I don't think it would cannibalize the server, just because the people that it appeals to aren't even playing Maplestory as it is. Either that or they're on Reboot, which Reboot is... It's nice, but I wouldn't consider it the same as Classic. I wouldn't consider it the same experience at all. So, yeah, so I think a server could be done. Again, I don't really know. There's a bunch of variables and things that would need to be considered, but I could see it working if it was done right. But again, that's just my own opinion. Well, anyways, with that little nostalgia trip out of the way, I hope you guys are all having a great day. Thank you for listening to me ramble. It was probably pretty boring, but hey, it is what it is. So, hope you have if you enjoyed, subscribe. I'll start posting some more content, or trying to. If not, oh well, sucks to suck. Either way, have a great day.